Hey folks, and welcome to the second instalment of my journey following Will Orton and his motorsport journey in the JCW Mini Challenge Cup. This weekend we're at Brands Hatch, one of Britain's most infamous race circuits. The question is, can Will carry on his championship lead for another race weekend? Can the rookie still maintain the top spot? So here we are, arriving at Brands Hatch to follow another weekend. The car park's filling up and it's early on a Saturday.
Okay, take two.
So here I am, very organised.
Let's go!
Zing day. Hey Dre, how are we doing this morning? Did you enjoy waking up this morning?
No comment.
No comment. No comment. So in terms of expectations and goals for this weekend, what is it that we expect Will to do? Well, Will's already had an amazing start. He's already leading the championship from the first round. So who knows what's possible this weekend? So here we are, walking into Brands Hatch, and there's a lot of noise as the touring cars carry out their Saturday morning practice. That's the amazing weekend at Donington a couple of weeks ago. Here we are at Brands Hatch. What are your expectations now? We're going to go into qualifying.
I'll be lying if I said the expectations haven't sort of switched. I want to be in the top three, I want to be challenging for the podiums. Pace yesterday was good, but I was in the dry and it started to rain a little bit, so yeah, I just want another consistent weekend and see where that puts us after that.
So Dave, a huge amount goes into the car each weekend from the team, managing it, getting the setup right. You've got the data from previous years. Talk us through a typical weekend with the car.
So at the start of the weekend, we will have discussed about where we want to start on setup based on winter testing, what we've learned at the last meeting, and what we learned at the circuits last year. So we put that all together and we decide on like a start setup. In the free practice sessions, we'll have carryover tyres from the previous race weekend. And we work with those tyres and managing the best of what we have available to us in free practice 1 and 2, so that we can alter the setup and do the fine tweaks for what might be, a track may have evolved from winter to summer, and we have to take a gauge on where the track will be at the weekend. Like for example here at Brands Indy, we had some dry running, and all of a sudden now we're into a wet running condition, so it's warmer, but we've experienced wet running at Donington, but also in winter testing. So we can take all the learnings from our pre-season testing and our race at Donington and put that all together and put our best foot forward.
So here we are at Brands Hatch. Will's just finished qualifying and he's qualified in an amazing third place in his second race, and it was a wet one. I'm soaked. It's third place. Yeah, that's good to do. Yeah, solid.
Where have you just been?
Huh?
Where have you just
in the
been?
pits. I got told off for filming this car. I'm on the same lady.
You've just been told.
So Dre, it's a rainy one.
It's a great weekend.
Here at Brands Hatch, with all the action going on in the background, which apparently we're not meant to film.
Oh, no, if you're up front.
It's been quite fun actually to watch it though. Will's third in qualifying, and you're desperate for what?
Bacon butty.
Bacon butty. Give us a bacon butty. Should we interview the bacon butty?
No, I just want to eat that. You promised me a good life, Fred.
I did.
And a glam life, yeah?
Glamorous. We're at a racetrack, seeing fast cars go round in circles in the rain. What more glamour?
So lucky.
How can I offer you more glamour than that?
And it is pouring it down.
It is.
Do you think those cars are going to be sliding about on that track?
Could be. Sometimes it's actually better when it's fully wet than it is when it's that intermediate and they're just sliding around real bad. So they might be alright in this full wet.
There they all are, getting ready. Just like me, always ready.
Oh.
Are you enjoying it?
Come on, Will.
Come on!
Second place, also the winning rookie driver, Will Orton. Well done, Will.
Will, starting P2 tomorrow after a solid race. What's your thinking right now? How do you get that solid start and either maintain P2 and move forwards?
I just need to sort my starts out really. Struggling with the starts a little bit.
Fred, talk to me about this presenter life.
Well, on to the race, hanging out with everybody, enjoying the action. What more can you do? It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it everything that you hoped it would be so far? Is there anything you're missing?
Not really, no. It's always the knowing I've got to cut all this stuff together and make a video at the end of it because I haven't got a team of people just to go, there you go. But you know, that's, I suppose, the joy of doing and learning.
Working from the ground up.
Working the ground up, yeah. Working with some lovely people in the Ortons and a talented young lad. It's good that he's talented. It wasn't essential when we started this journey.
It wasn't essential.
It's kind of cool that he is.
He's amazing.
Makes it a bit sweeter, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, it's so worth it. It's so worth standing in the rain, the constant rain, the rain that has like soaked through our jacket. But to see the joy of him and his racing style, I really love it. I think it's amazing. I'm so proud. Like, I've only known him for 2 minutes, and I'm already like uber proud of him. What can I do? Can we go to the cinema tonight?
Yeah, well, there was the option of going through all the video footage and putting it into buckets of Will's family, team, race, all that kind of stuff. Or there was the option of heading out and get to the cinema so Dre can see the air film that we've been waiting to see.
Because I have been now talking about it for a wee while.
So on that basis, we're going to see air.
Woohoo!
Learn all about the Jordan. We know the Jordan story very well anyway.
Yeah.
So whilst we're at Brands Hatch and we're making our way out of a wet first day here on the Saturday, we're going to just pass around some nice fancy BMWs that are parked up. And look at this, it looks like something out of a James Bond come Mad Max movie. What do you reckon? This XM. Look at that for a car.
Someone's obsessed with cars. He doesn't even know I'm like alive or exist. These cars are around.
The wheels. What size are the wheels on that?
Just come to get things for you. We've just been here all day. We're soaking, we're wet through, and the man is still video cameraing cars.
The people running the stand have all gone home, so we get to walk around these BMWs. Not being harassed by anybody. M3 Touring. Now they've not made an M3 Touring for years. Look at this little beauty. Wouldn't mind going this. Really wouldn't. Practical family car. That's what you have to tell people. It's a practical family car. Happens to have an M3 badge on the back. I've heard it's pretty good to drive. Maybe we'll get out and review it sometime. So Dre, we've got quite a bit of footage already for this weekend, so I'm hoping today's about a few more interviews, capture the results, whatever happens.
And enjoy the races.
Just
enjoy it. I mean, I feel like we need a spa day tomorrow though, don't we?
Oh yeah.
I don't know whether we're going to push through.
Spa day.
You look like all the gear.
All the gear.
You do. I wasn't looking to insult. You look really cool.
Get out of my way.
Look, pass. Gonna pass.
Another win. Yeah. Start P2, finish P1 and fastest lap. Championship leader again.
Yeah, all good points.
What a result. How are you?
Amazing.
And then to our winner with our second win of the year, Will Orton. Well done, Will. Congratulations.
Hey, Will. Congratulations. P2 solid start, tough race following down, but you had him all the way, and then you took the win at the end. Fastest lap, championship leader. It just keeps racking up. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm over the moon. I think I said yesterday, it's a long championship, and it's yeah, consistency and consistently on the podium is not a bad way to go about it.
This is the first time of the weekend we've caught you without a coat on.
Or a jumper.
Yeah. It must be warm. I mean, it was me getting him a t-shirt, that's one thing, but Dre not.
But I still got my arms covered.
Oh yeah. Getting ready for his last race, but he starts P6 because of the reverse grid from 6. So he finished first, should have got first, but it's the third race.
Yeah.
So they do the reverse order. So
I was speaking to the boss, and he thinks he's set to win it.
You reckon?
Yeah, he says he's set to win it. He's like, he can outpace everybody, so as long as he doesn't get caught up there, he expects him to win it.
Wow.
Wow.
He won, baby. Let's see if he can do it. Yeah, walking through the paddock. So we've had the second race today.
Yeah.
Came out on top.
Yeah.
You probably won't get the full credit for the fact that you drove the other guy's car so hard you popped a tyre.
Yeah.
What's next for the weekend, do you think, at the minute?
Yeah, so obviously just looking back at that race, we was putting a lot of pressure on him. Just forced him into quite a few mistakes, which has resulted in the tyre failing eventually. Whether that was due to driver error or we don't know, but at the end of the day, we were there to capitalise on it, which is sort of all we can do.
It's not good for my body. Yeah.
He's up from 6th to 2nd.
6 is it? Oh, he's off, he's off.
Team dosed you in a bit of Prosecco there.
Yeah, I had a bit of a plan to get Matty after being upset with me after qualifying. So I was like, yeah, and it just backfired. I didn't realize I had a second bottle of champagne, so yeah, I think I'll come off a bit worse. But
talk us through that last race, Will.
Yeah, so I started sick. Made a relatively good start. I think it was third or second. I didn't get off the line, so just managed to miss him. Then yeah, around the outside turn 1 and 2 was pretty brave, but yeah, then we were in third, and we're just struggling to get past the Napa car. I managed to just find just about enough room in the last corner. Hope the cameras caught it. And then at that point, I was chasing down the leader. Safety car came out. I was just sort of reset in my head. And then yeah, I saw we had a penalty on the board, but I thought I've got to do it regardless, so I don't end up in a massive battle. So I just straight in. Another good move. He managed to get the cut back on me, so I had to leave a bit of room at the next corner, but yeah, just expected to get doored off a little bit. Didn't, so yeah, good weekend.
Hey Steve, what a weekend.
Yeah, brilliant weekend. I mean, you know, coming off the back of Donington, we had a great weekend at Donington. Obviously, it was the issue with Sam, but I think, you know, it just showed not only how much pace Will's got, but the consistency, how comfortable he was to switch into this car, which is difficult. You know, it's historically really difficult to drive. So I think with what he did at Donington, you know, coming here, we were very, very excited about what he could achieve. He's just proved it again. You know, we've got wet practice, we've got wet qualifying, we've got a wet race, which was really, really difficult conditions, and then 2 dry races today, and he's come away from the weekend with a second and 2 more wins, which is just phenomenal. So, you know, having a driver like Will that's just quite happy to drive around like he did in the wet with heaps of opposite block on half the time, but be really comfortable with it is great, and you can really then work the setup to the best of your ability, knowing that the driver will cope with it, and that's such a huge advantage, and he's just been able to do that straight away with such limited front-wheel drive experience. To be able to pull all that together and come away from the first 2 race weekends with 2 wins is pretty huge. yeah, I mean, he's a lot of fun to have in the team as well. And I think, you know, he's worked really, really well with Matt and Sam, our two coaches, and with David as well. So, you know, he just gives good feedback. But he really, I think one thing that's really been apparent with Will is he just listens to everything we tell him, and he just kind of sucks it all up and puts it into practice. Whereas, you know, there's times where you can go through a lot of those things with drivers, and either they can't replicate it, or, you know, there's various factors. But Will just takes it all on board and puts it into practice and goes out there and does it, which is amazing. So yeah, it's brilliant. It's nice. Yeah, when you've got a driver who's a lot of fun to have around and really fast and consistent, it's a good opportunity.
Dream team,
Dream team.
driver. That's perfect.
I'd like to think so. Hopefully we can carry it on and pull home the pot. It'd be really nice if Sam Weller's handing the series championship trophy over to Will at the end of the year, rather than it going to another team. That would be really, really nice.
Well, we end another weekend at the races. What's been your biggest learning the weekend?
Biggest learning? Well, I suppose we talked about some of the technical stuff, about the cars and about what makes them different.
You like the technical aspects of cars, don't you?
Yeah.
Give me some data.
Give me some data to work with. What makes it better? What can you push to do? What makes somebody stand out more? What makes a car stand out more? For me, I want to know all those aspects. Then you can determine who's actually doing well out there versus, you know, who's struggling. So, that was my biggest learning. What about you?
I think I learned a lot more about the cars, the racing setups, and getting the video footage we wanted with a bit of planning.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm going home with a better set of videos to carve up than my first time round.
Yeah.
So, what's the results of that?
Yeah. Tired now?
I'm tired. I learned a break on the sofa with the Formula 1.
Yeah, me too.